would you like to eat delicious cake for breakfast every morning and never worry about eating liver again? I'm gonna make that happen for you today. Welcome to World AIP, the YouTube channel dedicated exclusively to helping you implement the Autoimmune Protocol, but it might also be useful if you're into clean eating and healthy whole foods and things like that. I'm Stacy, and today I'm going to show you how I make my hidden liver breakfast cake. Trust me on this one, I don't want to steer you wrong. I want you to get your organ meats. I don't want you to suffer through things that don't taste good or spend a ton of money on liver pills or anything like that. This is delicious, right? Now, I tested this hidden liver breakfast cake on my boyfriend Phil, who doesn't go out of his way to eat liver. And he doesn't have any allergies. He can eat anything, delicious, yummy, standard American diet foods, no problem. So I gave him this and I said, here, try this, I made it. And he's like, what is it? And I'm like, yeah, just eat it. And he's eating it and he's like, yeah, it's good. I'm like, there's liver in it. And he's like, what? Really? Wow. He couldn't believe it. He had no idea. And he liked it. This is a game changer. If you make it and you don't like it, I want hate comments below. Because, I need to be called out for misleading people. Because I'm not misleading you. It's really delicious. I promise. You are going to need 1 pound of preferably grass-fed liver. I buy mine from US Wellness Meats. And you're also going to need to make up some plantain rice or couscous. It's very easy to do. I'm going to link below to the print version on my website that'll walk you through step by step. You're going to need 4 cups of that riced plantain. And I mean, basically, you can boil it or pressure cook the green plantain. Let it sit overnight to cool and harden, and pulse it in your blender into rice. So super simple. We're also going to need to make some plantain eggs. I don't know if you know this, but plantain is a great egg substitute. Everyone's always talking about, gelatin eggs. Look, gelatin eggs work great, except if you don't tolerate gelatin like me. And there's some mixing involved, and it's just more... Plantain eggs are the bomb. You basically take raw green plantain, right? Weigh it, put an equal amount of water, blend it up. Now you have liquid eggs. For every egg you need in a recipe, use a 1/4 cup. That's it. Equal parts raw green plantain blended with water. 1/4 cup per egg. I make a big batch and I freeze them in cubes. So now anytime I need an egg, I just weigh out 2 ounces, which is a 1/4 cup. By the way, I got this cool shirt at Paleo. It says "Graze Against the Machine." I love it. And it's from the Savory Institute. It's a non-profit organization that trains farmers and ranchers around the globe in holistic management. Anyway, I'll put a link below to where you can learn more about their organization. One little trick for blending liver into a recipe like this without tasting it is to cook the liver and then blend it in. So I'm just going to have this in the pan at 320 degrees, nice low temperature. Cover it for some moist heat. Just let it go till it's ready to flip. It starts sticking, just throw a little water on the bottom. I'm going to set this liver aside, and I'm going to use the same pan to cook up my caramelized onion. You might be thinking, onions and a breakfast cake? Hey, they somehow strangely work really well. So put like a tablespoon of coconut oil in the pan, and I've sliced up a small to medium onion. Saute that until it's caramelized and soft. Alright, time to get out the blender. You're going to want to put 1.5 cups of coconut milk, which just so happens to be 1 little box of coconut milk if you can find them, or just measure it out. And if you can't have coconut, don't worry, you can just throw in water with a tablespoon or 2 of oil. And I'm going to put all the liver in there. I do want to mention that if there are any obvious rubbery bits on the liver like this, you could take them off at this time, but if you're using a Vitamix, it doesn't even matter. It'll just puree these to nothing and you won't ever know they're there. But if you're using like a Ninja or some other blender, just peel off the really obvious rubbery bits. I have to freeze this in portions and only thaw 1 portion at a time, or I will totally overeat. Alright. We're gonna add 1/4 cup of blackstrap molasses. Sarah Valentine has a great article on her site about the health benefits of it. It's one of the better sweeteners that we can have on AIP. It does have nutrition in it. Oh, and it adds a delicious flavor. Almost makes this taste like a Boston brown bread. I don't know if you've ever had that. Oh, if you like Boston brown bread, you will love this breakfast cake. So we're gonna use a 1/4 cup or 80 grams of the molasses. And by the way, I want to thank Virginia for sending me a gift of these awesome stainless steel measuring cups. No more cheap plastic measuring cups. And we want to add 4 plantain eggs to this. So if you don't have any made up like I do, basically you just want to put 4 ounces of raw green peeled plantain and 4 ounces of water. I'm going to use 8 ounces of my pre-made plantain eggs. I'm also going to throw in 1 full teaspoon of ground dry ginger. A little bit heaping, and that's totally okay. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. You can put 2 if you want. This is delicious in there. If you've reintroduced black pepper, go ahead and use that, or you can use ganthoda powder to mimic an authentic black pepper taste, or just skip it, but I like it in there. 1/4 teaspoon of the ganthoda powder. 1 teaspoon of dried marjoram. If you don't have marjoram, basil might work. I wouldn't use oregano. You need the sweetness from the marjoram. You just skip it if you don't have it. And last but not least, a teaspoon of salt. I'm using Himalayan pink salt. We're gonna blend this up really well, and the rest of the ingredients are gonna get mixed in after this is blended. Process that into chocolate pudding. Right about now, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and also you're going to want to grease your baking pans. Use a regular loaf pan, and you're going to still have some extra batter, so break out a pie dish too. This recipe is going to make a pie and a loaf. So to this mixing bowl, I'm going to add 4 cups of the riced plantain, which is packed down. So I would weigh it. I would go ahead and weigh it. It's 23 ounces. This is going to give it the cake-like texture when you pair it with the plantain eggs, and it's all going to bind together. Also to this, you want to add that onion you sauteed. I'm also going to add a 1/2 cup of organic raisins. I packed these in. And then we're just gonna mix in our liver blend to that. This recipe is going to be in print on my website. I'm gonna put a link below to that. Mix it up. And then you're basically just going to pour it into your dishes. So these are going to bake obviously for different times because this one's a lot more shallow. So 350 degrees. The loaf's going to go for an hour. The pie is going to go for like 45 minutes. I don't know if you saw my live feed from Austin, Texas. I brought this with me on the airplane, frozen, to have for breakfast while I was there. Nutrition facts. So this recipe makes 8 servings. Each serving is going to have nice size portion servings, by the way. These will fill you up. 355 calories, about 11 grams of fat, about 50 grams of carbs, and 18.5 grams of protein. Also, each serving is going to have 2 ounces of liver in it. So eat a couple servings a week and you'll be fulfilling all your liver requirements in a delightful way. Obviously, it's going to have a ton of B vitamins because of the liver. Loads of B2 and plenty of B3 and B5 and B6 and like 1,667% of B12. Choline, folate. Loads of retinol, animal-based vitamin A, super bioavailable. This actually reversed my lifelong chicken skin arms when I started eating liver. I don't convert beta-carotene to vitamin A. I figured that out through genetic testing. Anyway, the liver fixed my chicken skin arms, which is technically known as keratosis pilaris. No more of that. So, a little vitamin C. Loads of copper. Also a really healthy amount of iron here. Magnesium, manganese, potassium, selenium, zinc. Hello. The carbs are mostly complex, and we've got a little bit of fiber in there, so 45 grams of net carbs. And not a ton of fat. Good amount of protein. This will set you up for the day. Alright, it's out of the oven. Let's take a look at this. It smells amazing. There's really not much to loosen here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on the plate. Ta-da! Oh, I wish you had seen that. It just plopped right onto there. Beautiful. Cut right in. And you have yourself cake. I'm telling you, it's like cake. Oh, I want you to see the inside. It's hot, so I hope this camera focuses. Woo, my hand. Here we go. It's like this delightful moist cake. What is that? That's a piece of plantain. There's a little onion. There's some raisin. It's like the perfect balance of savory and sweet. It only gets better after you let it cool and reheat it. You can fry it up in the pan in slices. I really like the way it looks when you bake it up into the pie pan. It's like the perfect on-the-go breakfast. Let me know in the comments how you liked it. Let me know how you're getting your liver in right now. Or are you getting your liver? I have other liver recipes. I'll link to those in the description box. You know, I've got a hidden liver beef scramble, which is really yummy. I've got a pate, and I've got a southern fried scallopini, and they're all delicious. This one is my favorite now. This takes the cake. And if you want to see more recipes that are never on YouTube, I do post a monthly Patreon exclusive recipe for anyone that pledges $2 or up. And I also put free clips almost every day up there for anyone to view, patron, not patron. So I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. It's called Lens. Enjoy. I'll see you soon, and until then, be healthy. Clean up, crew.